streaming. There we go. Now we're in.
I can see myself walking through an age in the memory of those bad days, but I can see myself searching for a hand to guide me through this land. Yeah, you, my whole world's kinda blue. Without you, yeah, without you, my whole world's kinda blue. Sitting through dry conversation, I can't help but be depressed. Missing my love's warm elation. I miss your tender caress. Spend nights looking over my past mistakes. I'm sorry that I did you wrong. Pray to the heavens and the earth that you'd return, 'cause it's been too long. Without you, yeah, without you, my whole world's kinda blue. Without you, yeah, without you, my whole world's kinda blue. Oh. Without you, yeah, without you, my whole world's kinda blue. Without you, yeah, without you, my whole world's kinda blue. Oh.
All right, we are here. We are upgraded, and we have upgraded the stream. I'm going to try to do my best to share my screen with our guest, so he kind of sees how the stream is running. Really excited to be here. So, and we're gonna make sure we're working out all the mechanics of the stream, so things are rolling smoothly. You're not gonna be like, "Oh, Spencer's so weak." We're getting it going. So, I'm gonna try to see if I can find the chat. There may be a chat here. There may not be a chat here. We will figure that out. If not, I'll just pay attention to. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I will do my best. Okay. Without further ado, we have a guest on. What up, Steven?
Yo, what's up, Spencer? I hope you can still hear me. I left the meeting for a sec just because I couldn't hear my voice or yours, and there was like music playing, and I was like, I can't hear anything. So I should be good now.
We're good. We're good. And the camera's good too, by the way.
Oh,
You somehow just fit perfectly in the box. So let me do this. I want to share my screen with you so you kind of already see the content that's playing. Let me share this with you. I don't want your face to be frozen, so I guess I'll only share this. No, I won't share it now. I'll just share it when we start talking about content. Before we do that, before we get into that, let's talk, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm doing really good. Can you still see me? I got off the screen for one sec. Am
I
I chilling?
I can see you. You can
All
see.
right.
Can you see me?
Yep. Yep. I can see you.
All right, cool. We can see each other. So let's talk about
Pretty
how
sick.
how we met. Let's talk about how we met.
That sounds great, dude.
What is your
Uh,
first memory of me?
well, I just gotten off the stage at Stan's, and I think I played a show with Tasty Taylor.
Yep.
Um, and you were just telling me like that I was a solid in the pocket drummer, which meant a lot to me at the time because in the past I would not get comments like that. Because I come from sort of a metal background when I first
Mm,
started drumming,
mm,
so a lot of my stuff would be, I would say I was always in time, but I would love to go off the rails, right? I would love to do as many fills as possible, like make it as sick as I can. And it's like, nah, because then you completely take away from the music. And my guitar teacher um, put this a really good way one time. He's like, good drummers are felt, not heard, right? Because once you, especially by people that aren't musicians, and they're trying to jam to the vocals primarily or the guitar, and then you've got some drummer just banging on trash cans in the back, being as showy as possible. And I used to do some of that. So as I've progressed, I've really tried to work on just staying in the pocket, sticking with the groove, and I instantly knew you were a musician to have made that comment. So I knew we'd be buddies, and it was just good to see a fresh face in the scene that was making solid comments about people at open mics. So that was my first impression of Spencer slash Don Escalon, whichever he goes by. It's a sick name, by the way. I
thank you.
really do. What? How did you come up with Don Escalon?
So that's funny. So the neighborhood that I came from, I lived in this place called the Dons, and it's a whole bunch of streets called Don this, Don that, Don this. And my guitarist from my last project lived on Escalon. I was like, Don Escalon. I'm like, I like that. I like that.
Oh,
And
it's so sick, man. I love the name.
yeah.
It sounds amazing. I feel like a lot of people get names from streets. Like a
Mm.
lot of musicians get their band names from streets.
So here's the other
And
parallel. There's another parallel because I don't want to cut this out. So my uncle, who helped me write my first song, From the Grave, his name was Donald, and they
Don,
call him Don. Yeah.
I like it, man, because I think of like the Don from like The Godfather or whatever. I think
Yeah.
of that. And then I think of like Escalon as in like you're on an escalator, like you're going up, like you're ascending, right? So it's like the dawn of ascension. That is kind of what I thought of when I saw it. So props, dude. I really like the name.
I like that you said ascension because that's the vibe. That is the vibe. So
you're escalating, like not to a bad degree, like you're
Yeah.
ascending. It's like a progress moving forward, and it's just like engraved in the name.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like it, dude. I
Yeah.
really do.
So actually, so I didn't meet you at um Stands. I met you at the Freeman, and then Stands was the next time I saw you jam. So I saw you at the Freeman. You guys killed it, and yeah, Tasty was playing, and Homeboy was on keys, and Billy was playing bass.
Yep, I thought it was the other way around, but I could be wrong. We were drinking both times, I'm sure. But yeah,
Well, I met you briefly at the Freeman. It was real brief, and then I met you
I must
again at
have not
Stands.
played then because that was my first time playing at the Freeman with Tasty.
Yeah, and that was the
That,
best time. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was the best time I've seen you guys play. Was at the Freeman.
that was a good show. Also, the KT's Virgo Bash was really good.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was KT's. Yeah, that was really good.
That was I thought that was like the best set that I'd played with Tasty. It was really really fun. Everything was super tight, and I listened to a few clips from that night, just being like, "Damn, that sounded so good."
I
And Tasty is a really good guitar player.
Right. I think there's a little clip of that on my Instagram. I want to show the audience so they know what we're talking about. KT was throwing down that night. He was doing the Andre 3000 thing. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Oh yeah, he looked awesome, dude. He
Dude, it was
literally looked like Andre 3000, right?
yeah, I had it on my story. Let me see if I could pull it up from the archives and see if I could add it. But yeah, but bro, it was so awesome.
It
Um
was great though, man. It really was.
yeah. Oops, that's my activity. Archive. Let's go. Archives. No, is it not in there? Oh, I did save the video though. Um, eh, we'll play it later. I think I sent it to Hayden. But anyways, it was a good night. It was a good night. Let me see if I can pull up Whip WIP. I want our audience to see what we're talking about. Because maybe they're familiar. You know what I mean? Um, with what we're talking about. Boom, 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 boom. Media box. Boom. There we go. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen with you so you also see this. Share screen. Boom. Share. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were looking at this, right? I wonder if this is the night. Let's see. Is it this night?
No, that's from the show at Goat Hill.
Okay. Okay. So it must have been this show.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this because there's KT right there.
Yeah. Oh, this is the show that is on they did that article on it on like KXT, I think is what it's called.
Right.
Radio.
Yeah.
So we were pretty excited about that. I know Hayden was. That was really awesome. Big win for him. He's been working really hard on WIP, and it was a big win to have this article and kind of officially be in the news with WIP. It's really, really fun.
It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Look at this picture we got stopped on Joe here.
I
He's
know it's so good.
he's like more butter.
Well, it's making me laugh too because like he'd just gotten through playing the standing bass
Right.
and he's holding that even though he's like rocking out right now, he's like holding it like a standing bass. So I'm like, he must have had some muscle memory from like the last from the previous set he did to be rocking his bass guitar like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a solid night, man.
Yeah. There goes Ricky. Boom. Okay. We're doing it. Sick. All right. I love what Hayden's doing with Whip. Um, him and I were talking about doing some stuff in the future, which I'm also really excited about. That's coming up probably in this winter season. I'll stop sharing so I can get back to you. Uh, all right, here we are. So yeah, man. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be kind of starting to get incorporated in the scene. Hayden and I are working together somewhat closely now, a lot more than before. Because at first I was coming to jams and you know, I came with the business, right? People noticed that about me in the beginning of like, man, this dude is like straight about business. Like he just wants to grow stuff, and he wants to grow a scene.
Yeah, for sure. And Hayden does too. So I figured you guys would be great for bouncing ideas off of one another and then actually like putting those ideas into a plan of action and getting it done. And that's why I'm, trying to help out as much as possible too, because I want to be a part of that ascension of the Dallas scene that it desperately needs right now.
Oh, dude, desperately. There's so much like untapped in potential with just the demographic, the geography, just the way this place is laid out, whole Dallas area, Arlington, Fort Worth, like the fact that we're not like taking advantage of that. There isn't like a somewhat of an established circuit. Yeah, we gotta take advantage of that and like fast too. Now that it's winter, people are gonna be writing. I know that late night call is starting to get into their writing sessions right now because they want to put out more content. Great, that's
Yeah,
what this time is for.
absolutely, man. I was actually playing a gig at Adair's last Sunday
Mm-hmm.
in Deep and there are a couple older guys that came up to us during our break and were like, dude, y'all should totally come through to Arlington, which I know we were talking about trying to do some shows there when you and Hayden and I and Jimmy and Joe met at the Wounded Ostrich.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he was telling us to definitely start calling bars around, I think he said it was Division Street, and you live there, right?
I live in Arlington, South Arlington. Yeah.
Right. So it's in Arlington. This is like the main strip, I think, that places are playing live music, but he gave me a bid to go check it out there, and at least give those bars calls because they'd be interested in doing kind of what Hayden's done at Stands,
Mm.
uh, kind of expanding that and branching out towards Arlington, which would be really cool.
If we could, I'm all about it. What is the place called? Adair's?
Adair's, yeah,
How do
in
you
Deep
spell that?
Ellum,
A-D.
Adairs.
Adair's. I wonder if they're on Instagram. Saloon? Adair's
Yeah,
Saloon. Deep Ellum. Yep. Okay. Okay. Let me make sure our audience could see. Shouting you out, Adair's. Let me share it with you.
great spot,
What's that?
nice, affordable beers and cocktails
Nice.
spot.
Nice. Representing our Cowboys. Let's go. Let's go. Let me look at the actual venue. Okay, it's a cool little, it's a tight little spot. And you know what? I know this spot because this
It's
band,
right next door to Free Man, dude.
yeah, this band called the Fifth Son, I think, plays here at Adair's.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I've seen somebody wear their T-shirt before. Are they a local band?
They're a local Arlington band, yeah.
Dope. Yeah, man. It's literally like connected to the Free Man. So definitely, if you're at the Free Man, you want to go check out some live music. They have it every single night at Adair's.
That's dope.
So
I'm gonna talk to them. At least check out the venue because I have some ideas of what I'd want to do at a place like this. Because I'm thinking about throwing mini festivals where there's an indoor stage and an outdoor stage, and you know, really making it a thing. So yeah, we gotta check it out. Gotta check it out. Sick, sick. Yeah, I gotta go check it out.
word, man.
Other than that, so let's talk art. Um, I know you started taking Guitar lessons. How you doing on that right now?
Good, man. I mean, this is like exactly 2 years from when I first started taking lessons.
Mhm.
And I always told myself I was never going to play guitar. I was just always going to be a drummer and then do some keys every once in a while. But I love string instruments so much. I love the sound of them, and I would watch classical guitar videos all the time. And I just said, "All right, dude, you need to suck it up." And I just really did not want to get past that barrier of the grip.
Mhm.
That it hurts, dude. Straight up. When you first start playing, it hurts so bad. And I had this ancient acoustic guitar that my mom had. Strings are like from the 70s or 80s still. Those things will rip your fingers to shreds. So like I first started messing around on that and I was like, absolutely not. I'm never gonna play guitar. But
Mm.
when I started taking lessons, the nylon strings of the classical guitar was actually like way easier for me. It didn't burn as bad, so I could hold those grips that I needed to and do those shapes
Mm.
a lot longer, and I could feel like I could actually make progress. So
Mhm.
I feel like it's great, man. I'm doing some theory stuff, so I'm like learning my circle of fifths and demystifying the fretboard, if you will, where you
Mhm.
like each note down each fret. That's something I've always wanted to be able to do. And then doing a lot of bar chord work, lots of bar chord work. So that's been good because I feel like most guitar teachers first start teaching you, and I think it's called open position, right? When you're just sitting there at the end of the guitar and you can do all your chords there, but you're not effectively moving across the guitar, which
Mm.
all shredders don't just sit in open position. They
Mhm.
do not do that at all.
Mm.
So, anyways, been feeling really good about it, man. Been feeling really good about it. Practice pretty regularly. I write my own little doodles, and I did one set over at Stan's. Um, that was it.
Nice. I'm in a similar position. I'm a drummer who started to play guitar and I'm going through the cycles as well, music theory, writing out the scales. I haven't taken the time to be able to identify each note down the scale. I just kind of understand how the notes line up with each other on the bars because I see it in terms of
I
numbers.
exactly what you're saying. Like you know the patterns that are gonna work, especially if you're playing like lead or bass,
Mm-hmm.
but actually know exactly the notes that you're playing.
Yeah, like
Right.
I know how to find different octaves of the same notes all over the neck.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know exactly because you can follow the shape of the scale,
Mm-hmm.
keep doing that same shape
Mm-hmm.
up the guitar like all the way to the end. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love to do that, man. I love to just listen to some like Spanish guitar with a little backing beat to it and then just freestyling over it and then
Mm-hmm.
finding those scales and just practicing my finger dexterity
What
that
is
way. That's,
what is the mode that goes with the Spanish playing? I forget what that is because Dorian is more of that psychedelic feel, and I think it might be Ionian is the more of
I
the
do
Spanish feel.
my mode, bro.
You don't
I
know
do
the
not
modes yet? Oh, I just
and
got into modes.
I love the names. Like every single mode name is so cool. It's like Mixolian or like yeah, and you said Ionian.
Mixolydian, Dorian,
Oh,
Ionian.
it all sounds so badass, honestly. I don't know any of my modes. I don't know modes, but hopefully I get to that soon just because I'd love to have a pretentious conversation. Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, dude. I bought a book
Oh,
on fucking
bro, you gotta get me that. Oh, here,
yeah.
I'm screenshotting that right now.
Yeah,
Will you
a homie from LA gave me this.
show the front of it again?
Okay. I don't know if this
Dude,
is the best book for learning modes, but it's what I'm using right now.
yeah,
Um,
that's metal, bro. That's
yeah.
cool.
Ooh, I found my notes that I was looking for in this book. I'm so happy. See, this is when you do homework. Boom, that circles of fifths and
Yep.
learning those scales. Boom,
Dude,
boom, boom, boom,
taking
boom, boom,
notes
boom,
when you're
boom.
learning is extremely beneficial. Excuse me, extremely beneficial to like how well you remember your lessons and what you learn. That's something I've started to do more of is like, God, and I need to do it even more, but actually sit down and take notes when I'm in my lesson and like
Mm-hmm.
date it and be like, this was your exercise. This is what you did today. And then you can go back and review them. And I feel like it's just a really, really, really good way of learning and memorizing guitar. Just really, really remembering what you learned in your lessons and then being
Absolutely.
able to go back and practice it too.
Yeah, because I'm one of those guitarists now who I bought a bunch of dope gear first, and then I was
Oh,
like, I'm gonna have this experience. But you know what? You want to know why I did that? I was a drummer who was trying to produce the piece that I showed you, Truth, and it started off by
Baron, you need the gear to do what you did in that video. So when you've
exactly.
got that idea, you need the big pieces to even make that idea
Mm-hmm.
into something real, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So
Yeah.
fair
So
enough.
yeah, I bought a bass setup. I had a
You weren't
guitar
like
setup.
loud and shit.
Yeah.
You weren't just to like have a sick rig.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a sick rig and I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, let me have some sick people come over and play it for me. Like I would make a skeleton that people could jam over that for the bases of most of the songs was like play the skeleton. All right, cool. Now do a little bit of this, work with these octaves, you know what I mean? And that was
Yeah,
like
but
the writing
and
style until I became a little bit more savvy.
right. But I
Yeah.
was just saying you didn't just buy it to have a sick rig. Like you
Exactly.
bought it with like a lot of good intentions to use that rig for your Centennial Impact productions. Uh,
Correct.
and that whole video you did. That's all I was saying. Like you didn't just buy a sick rig for the sake of having a sick rig,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people will do that.
Yeah, because I knew what each of the pedals did. I knew what the guitar did. You know what I mean? And the guitar was like my cousin brought it over and just left it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna have a guitar now. Great.
Yeah.
You know. Uh, and the pedal board, like some was like from watching other guitarists play, and I'm like, ooh, I really like that sound. Like, what is that? And then I would go online and I'm like, ooh, what's Earthquaker? Earthquaker has these sick designs on the pedal. At first, it was just about the designs. I like the way the designs look, but they were actually kick ass sounding pedals on top of that, you know?
Bro, I've always been that way too, man. I know they say like don't judge a book by its cover, but oh my gosh, man, like anytime it's actually how I discovered my favorite band too, was literally just picking out the album artwork that
Mm,
I loved it so much, so naturally I'm gonna like the music, right? I mean,
mm-hmm.
that assumption you will make and be wrong about a lot of the times, but sometimes you won't be, man. Sometimes if you like the design, you're going to like the sound too.
Right,
So, even though people say don't judge a book by its cover, it never hurts to sometimes.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, let's talk about this now. Like, in terms of starting like new projects here in Dallas. And this is something I was talking about, and I'm probably going to continue to use this motto because I've learned this from being. I used to do the marching band thing before I did stage band type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they would divide like the bands into different divisions based off of skill and based off of size. So the way I kind of look at like the music scene here in Dallas is it's like there's a lot of different acts that come in three tiers, right? But mainly it's kind of saturated in one tier. There's A class, which is kind of like a bunch of jam bands that don't sound the same each time you see them. A class. There's
Oh, we talked about. Yep, I remember this, but
right,
continue.
right.
Yeah.
There's open class, which is kind of like I would say like and 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 if you're watching people from late night call, I'm just using you as an example because I love you, but open class is like late night call where they have a tour bus, they have established songs, they shred consistently, but they're not quite there with the numbers and the live audience, but they have the potential to get there. So once they fill in those pieces, they're on their way to world class. Where it's like world class is you're playing festivals all the time, you're playing shows consistently, you're making money off those shows, you're making money off that merch, and you're able to play KEXP, these different radio shows, and you're making your rounds all year, and that's your job. That's what you do, or not your
Yeah.
job, but your career, because no one wants it to
Yep.
be a job. So I would say that's kind of the three different tiers, which is A, which is like anybody off the street can walk up and be an A class. You could sound good or you could sound really shitty and you're an A class. Open, middle tier, getting there to world. You know what I mean? Like I would say late night call is on its way to becoming world, but there's a lot more branding and building of retention of audience that needs to happen before they'd be considered a world group. They have world sound, and even that needs to be refined a little bit, but they're getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, late night call is freaking amazing, dude. They're
Mm-hmm.
definitely getting there, certainly on their way.
Mm-hmm.
World class. I would say that I think there's maybe a couple classes in between, but I do also like just minimalizing it down minimizing it down to just three classes. I do like that because then they're really, you can just identify the three. But I do feel like there's maybe a tier in between just the full on A
Absolutely.
class versus open. But yeah, you're right. The three main classes, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, these people play the same shows, right? Like, let's say a truly independent world class artist is playing the same show as a Chicano Batman, Meg the Stallion, what you name it. Even though I don't consider a lot of that hip hop scene world class, they're still playing in that tier of you're able to play
Yeah,
festivals.
class, right? They're in that class. Yeah.
Correct. Um, and then so I mean that's the difference, and then it's also pioneering a scene because it's one thing to have one really good group in an area, but it's another to have like kind of a collective of groups in an
Uh-huh.
area because people get tired of the same songs from the same groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want a little bit of like of a palette to choose from. Okay, I'm feeling green today. I want to go pick from here. I'm feeling purple today. I want to go here. So it's like for
Sorry.
no, no, it's all
Moving
good.
around.
It's all good. And then let me get off your screen so they could just see me while you're walking through the house. I don't want people to memorize your layout.
I'm chilling again now. I just had to get up. I forgot that I'd had some food delivered,
Okay.
and like I need to go outside and get that shit because it's freaking sushi. So I was like, I need to get that and put it in my fridge ASAP.
Word.
But
So yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like what we're building out here, it's gonna take consistency. Sorry, consistency, professionalism, and it's gonna require that it factor from every single group for us to have the general consensus of the scene to level up from A to open. Right now, the whole scene right now is just A. It's all A. Because even if late night call jams with a bunch of open groups and they're the big top dogs, you still have an open group leading an A class vibe. And the A, like when people come and see it, all they see is open. And it's a treat to have, or sorry, all they see is A. And it's a treat to have that little open part because they're not expecting it. But once the consensus is all open, oh man, we're gonna hit a boom and a
then you
renaissance.
can sell the whole scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's when you start to retain your audience. And so part of retaining that audience is like we're going to have to spread it across the map. I kind of see it as like when you play Pokemon, you play different little gym leaders. It's going to have to be like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fun, dude. That brings me back, bro. Brings me
Yeah.
back Sapphire and Ruby as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's developing that, and it's along the way, people are gonna come and try to make our path a little bit easier. They're be like, "Hey, why don't you sign this record deal?" And when
Absolutely.
so that's always gonna happen, right? There's just gonna be
Yep.
someone who's gonna be like, "Well, we can simplify this for you, and we'll just front you this cash so you can record an album." But if you're doing everything on your own or with your collective, you should do whatever you can to not need a label ever. Cause what
Yeah.
because what they stand to make in the long run and what you stand to make in the long run are two different things. What you stand to make in the long run independently is millions off of not that much. I think you and I talked about, or we've talked on this podcast before about Eric July. He's also here in the Dallas area. He's a he's a musician as well. He does like hardcore music, but then he also has a comic book company, and I think he had something like over 50,000 sales, but he made about 3.3.5 million in like 3 weeks. He kind of plateaued around that number, like 3.5 million. So with only like less than 100,000 customers or sales, you're able to make that much money if you provide that much value with merchandise, material, the campaign, people wanting to see more and more and more of what you're doing. And right now, in this day of the internet, it is so possible for us to do that. And I cringe at the fact that we don't take advantage of the internet. I cringe at the fact that we don't see this as just, oh, I'm watching this dude's show. It's like, no, I'm helping build a community. I'm helping build a movement on the internet. And it doesn't necessarily have to be uh, this, I don't know, this super Hollywood type thing. Like, no, let's create an experience out here in Texas that is just unmatched. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and talking about instead of going to the venues and saying like, "Hey, how can you help us?" It's the opposite. We're going to the venues and saying, "Hey, how can we help you?" Because we have a solid following out here in Dallas. We've created an experience that we can now bring to your venue, and we've already got a bunch of heads versus like, hey, can we play our music at trees so that we can get more heads? No, not that way. Yeah, the other way around.
Mm-hmm. All they want to hear is numbers and business. We can produce that. We can produce that. We're gonna have to start off small and consistent, but we can start off small. And that's the one thing I realized in the scene is like the general vibe of the scene has taken it to like further than it needs. Like we shouldn't be in venue right now. We should be like in house show or backyard
Yeah.
show. Or
Yeah, I remember you about that at Wounded.
yeah, or even just taking advantage of the geography, man. Like if we could find like a canyon show or a industrial warehouse show, like dude, those would go hard. You know what I mean?
I know those would be sick because you can make your own builds. You can you know, like we said at Wounded, it doesn't take that much to build a stage, right? So we can build a stage. Each individual band can bring their own artistic experience. So, you know, like I know bands like Del Marrera and bands like Willie and the Wild Cards and bands like Late Night Call, they all have a different artistic aesthetic. So you could make your own build and scene at places like house shows or maybe a warehouse, or I think I told you about my buddy's t-shirt shop, maybe using a
Mm,
venue like that,
mm-hmm.
where we can basically make our own rules and create our own experience so that we can start building that kind of momentum in Dallas for those bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's my thoughts on that is maybe rolling it back so you could make a bigger push forward. You see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
like you only lose money by paying these venue owners like a cover charge or this or that or agreeing to do this or it's like I've seen it where it's let me do this for you actually, because I think my audience needs to see it as much as you do. I'm gonna go back to the
Bro,
media
I've
box.
been in bands before. I don't mean to interject, but I've been in situations before, and thankfully we didn't have to pay the venue. But the lead guy wouldn't tell us, hey, like it's a ticketed show, but we have to sell all these tickets or we have to pay the venue essentially.
Mm,
And God, that is like the last position you want to be in. And I've played a couple shows like that.
right. I use this band, the Red Pears, because one, because I know the guys. Two, because I've seen their growth from top to bottom of starting playing backyard shows to playing venue to okay, we're playing Coachella. Now we're consistently playing festivals, we're playing radio shows, we're doing all that. And there's a formula to it. And I think the more the bands around here embrace that formula, the more results they'll see. And there's these little things that I pick up on, and I think this will be valuable for um, the audience to see, for us to see, who those of us who want to actually build this thing around here. So I'm gonna go to like them at like the beginning, right? And I'm just gonna pick out a couple things that I see
The
that's
Red Pear.
happening. The Red Pears, yeah, they're LA band. They're super dope. Really humble guys. It's Henry and Jose, who I think Henry is the guitarist, Jose is the drummer. They used to have a bass player named Juan, but there's another guy who's playing bass now. Play this.
So this is one of their first videos.
Yeah, it's like a house show. My bad. Yeah, this is like a house show, and I just want to point out some of the like their beginning, and then I'm gonna take you to kind of like where they are now. Let's stop right there. He's got a chick right here as his mic stand. You there?
What?
I said he has a chick there being his mic stand. He doesn't have a mic stand. She is the mic stand,
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool.
right? And while he's singing, she's also singing, and everyone else around is singing the lyrics as well.
So I
That's-
couldn't actually see the video. My screen's frozen, like your screen share.
Oh, my screen
But-
share is frozen.
So yeah, that's why I didn't have that immediate reaction. Oh, I see her now. That's cool.
Okay, let me share again. My bad.
That's like a part of their whole art, right?
Mm-hmm. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my bad about that.
Oh, dude, you're chilling. I was just like,
Let's go a little
Okay.
further. Let's go a little further. What's that?
is this at a house show?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I
Yeah.
do like that a lot.
Yeah. And it starts there, right? It starts there from the house shows and killing the house shows. Here's one of the smell and there's historic venues that have come out of just starting the little small underground scene. Let me see if I can find one from the smell. There's a venue called the Smell in downtown LA that they used to frequent all the time. This is in Las Vegas. Um, anyways, let me just go to the mid level them so you could see that was them in A. That would be A, right?
Right. You're showing them in A class. Now you're gonna show them in open class.
Mm-hmm. So
But
here's
consider them world class now.
I would consider them on the cusp of entering world class right now, yeah. So here's them at a sold out show.
Well, I lost my way. Shooting carriages. Well, that's all she say. I was down on shit. All this shouting.
What's that?
Do they always perform in red?
No, this is when they stepped it up and they started wearing matching stuff.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about that, man. I've been telling the guys that I jam with that we need to have a dress code when we perform.
Here's the thing though. You don't necessarily need to do yes, you do need to have a dress code, right? There is that. But it doesn't need to be a suit. Just as long as you guys have the same vibe.
Right. I'm not saying it has to be a suit. It's
Yeah.
just got to be all the same. Like one of the greatest shows I ever played
Mm-hmm.
was on top of the late night call bus. And it was in a jumpsuit, bro. We're all wearing just jumpsuits from Lowe's. And it was like one of our greatest looks. And so many people were into that look. And of course, that was with Hayden because, he gets it like you do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, having just some sort of consistency in your clothing. There's a band called Midland. It's like a
Mm.
country band. They're trying to like bring back George Strait country. Dude, their look is so good. They don't all wear the exact same thing, but it's like a suit. It's a style that matches their music and their sound.
Right.
And I swear it becomes part of their entire it becomes part of their value as a band because like people don't just go out to see their music, they go out to see them in those really sick suits. Same thing with like ZZ Top and a few other people. You go there for the entire artistic experience, not just the music. At least that's where I've always been as a fan. I tend to like bands that have consistency amongst their art and their costumes or what they're wearing, even if it's not costumes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like think about like the Chili Peppers, right? The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Even though they dress random in the same way. Does
It's
that make sense?
consistent.
It's
Yeah.
consistently random.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's consistent. They've all got a style. Like what's his name is gonna be showing a ton of skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flea.
Flea.
You're gonna expect that dude either naked or with a shirt off at least, you know?
Yeah,
And
John Frusciante is gonna show up with
with like
freaking
a shirt unbuttoned all the way down to his
or
belly button.
or just a collared T-shirt and just being like the plain guy. But you,
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
they've all got a style that fits the band
right.
and it fits their sound. And I'm sure if it didn't, they would either not be in the band or it wouldn't like it just formed the way it did back then and they all kind of rocked the same style. But
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the reasons why they shot to stardom was not just of the music, it was the style too.
Right. I have a perfect example for you, which I want to show you. I hate to cut you off, but I have a perfect example of like doing it. And this is something. Here's an example that's world class. Have you ever heard of King Cruel?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. There's one that they did. Molten Jets. Let me pause it. All right, let me get through this commercial. Media box. Oh man, working the stream is. There we go. Skip. All right. Let me share it so you can see it. Share screen.
I know you're doing like a million things when you're streaming and like stuff. It's like a freaking cockpit in a spaceship.
Yeah, I'm getting good at it though. I'm getting good at it. Okay, so here's the beginning of this one. This one's pretty dope. Let me just skip to where we need to see it because I don't want to. I'm just go right here. Oh, no sound. World. That is
Yeah,
world.
that's committing to the act right there.
Boom. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I love
That's it. So you get the vibe. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So, and that you haven't even seen the performance yet, but for those of you who have not seen this, it's King Cruel, Molten Jets Live on the Moon. I suggest you watch it on a big screen TV or home theater or whatever with great sound. Oh, so good, so good. It's like 30
That
minutes.
sounds so cool. It's a nice like 30-minute.
Mm-hmm.
Do they play a whole new album of theirs, or is it just
This is
select
like,
songs throughout their discography?
bro, yeah, it's part of the album, but this is like how many years old? Let me see. Let me put this
Because
up.
I love bands that do like the full album playthrough. I just saw one of my favorite bands, The Contortionist, with my brother, and they did full album playthroughs of some of their most iconic albums, and that was just amazing, especially from a fan that's also a musician and really pays attention to like every detail. When a band comes out and plays their entire record, basically as close as they possibly can to the recording,
Mm-hmm.
that's something really special for a
Right,
fan to hear.
right. Here's another one. Here's another one. World class.
Oh, I've seen this, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, literally looks like he's set up on Mars.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are we watching the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, Toro y Moi.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you said Mars because I'm like, wait a minute. I just showed you a moon video. Like, is it the same thing?
Oh no, it's the same. I mean, he's just like a desert dude. I mean, he looks
Yeah.
like he's Mars. Yeah, no, it's sick. Yeah,
Gotcha,
it's
gotcha,
dope.
gotcha, gotcha. So you've seen
Yeah.
this video before?
Yeah, my brother really likes Toro y Moi.
Yeah. Again, all same vibe. They look like they're wearing earth tones. There's no random team, no football team, no rocking other people's shit. It's just boom. Right on
Yep,
brand.
yep.
Right on
No,
brand.
that's yeah, all solid colors. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep. Color got the color coordination. Got lots of coordination there.
Yeah, and
It's all about coordination. My girlfriend said before about like clothing.
mm-hmm.
She's been like, people appreciate clothing coordination. I mean, even if they don't even realize it, they
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it when they're there and you're performing or whatever band's performing. If the band is in a similar look, they're coordinating in any way with their colors and their clothing. It creates a better atmosphere and experience for everybody.
Correct. Yeah, look, they look like they could be hanging out with Scooby Doo and the gang.
Yeah, the dude in the back looks like Shaggy straight up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's a little bit of individuality to each of them. Like if you look when they do some close-up shots, I'll just mute it so we could at least have it playing so you could still see. But
Sure.
but if you're watching, like, boom, earth tones, like that's what it is. Their thing that's universal is earth tones. He matches his drum set, the green and little blue white stripes. You know what I mean? Little things like that. Chaz there. He's got a white guitar, cool ring. You know what I mean? Cool rings. Yo.
He's got a guitar strap that matches his like white and red too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all coordinated, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I've had this discussion with everybody I play with. Both lead guys that I've been playing with recently, I've been like, dude, we absolutely need to have um a band dress code essentially. Because sometimes we'll be playing and somebody's in like, just a completely different outfit, which is fine. It's not a huge deal, but if you want that consistency and you really want to be remembered, because it's like, oh, it's not a big deal, dude. We're just playing a quick show at Adair's. It's like, yeah, but even then, man, like still having like, I think one of the bands I play in, we have a very like denim sound. So
Mm,
it's, yo, wear some freaking blue jeans, maybe a denim jacket, maybe like a work or like trucker style shirt, just
mm.
something not off that rugged denim sound that we've got.
Right. Right. Right.
But hey Spencer, I'm getting pretty hungry. I might have
Okay.
to jet soon, but I really, really enjoyed this podcast, man. I really appreciate you having me on for an interview, and we'll have to do another one actually. This was really, really good. Getting maybe Hayden in on it.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially once we make a lot of progress actually doing what we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
doing actually doing it, then we can look back on videos like these and start talking about our progress from where we started, kind of like you just showed me the red pairs and stuff like that. And I know we're in different bands and stuff like that, but it's a consistent movement,
Mm-hmm.
not like just with one group or whatever. It's like we've got a group of people that all have really good potential to move from A class to open class to world class, but we don't have any businessmen driving that. We've just got a bunch of talented stoners hanging out, playing music down there. You know what I mean?
Well,
There
you
needs to be,
you got this guy now. I am a very, very much
well,
business
not
guy.
just you. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had Hayden before too. And I mean,
Yeah.
like, but having you here has definitely driven that sense of urgency to the people that were already trying to do what you were doing in California.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you are here, it's like, thank God, we do have somewhat of a mentor to bring everything that Hayden's been working on and what I've been working on and into full fruition.
Sure.
What Jimmy's been working on, the late night call guys, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So happy to it's been so good getting to know you and sharing our business mindset and our passion for music and art and putting that into a driving force to Don escalate and ascend what we're doing right now.
I
And
like it.
I'm just excited and happy to watch it grow.
Same. 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 I'm also gonna second getting some grub after this, but I just want to say this to the audience and to the people who are watching. Share this show. If you live in the Dallas area and you're part of the music scene, we're trying to grow this thing. It starts with being here in the virtual world so we could get the word out, building up the community here. So if we have to announce a show here on the podcast, we will. I'm trying to get on more consistently. I want to either do like every day if I can, maybe short, brief live sessions, but I want to be able to announce shows. Boom, we're having a show from the scene here. Boom, we're having a show there. So we don't have to send DMs everywhere. I'm just going to tell you where the show is and we'll meet there.
I
You
mean,
know?
bro, like you said at the very beginning of our conversation, having I just completely lost my train of thought, man. Damn it. This is when I know I need to go eat. But you said something at the very beginning and I completely lost my train of thought, but it was a good note to end on. So
Is it the gist? Just give me the gist of whatever it is. Oh, I hate that it's on the tip of your tongue.
oh, I know, man, and now I've like lost it. You know when you're like about to lose it and you're like don't lose it and then you really lose it when you tell yourself not to lose it. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, we've covered it all. If I think of it, I'll text you, man, and we'll have to edit it in to this video if it
Okay.
was recorded. Oh shit. It was about God, I just had it again and I lost it, man. I need to go eat. But
Okay,
this has been
let me say this to the audience before you get off then. Um, please like, share, subscribe, join our efforts. Follow Don at Don Escalon on Instagram, all the different socials, whatever you could think of. It's going to be at Don underscore Escalon. This name of the show at Centennial underscore Impact underscore Productions. Follow us there on Instagram as well. And if you could donate anything, great. You see the cash up there. Do you want to plug anything, Steven?
uh I do remember what I was gonna say.
Okay.
And it's about using the internet, like you said earlier, like in what you just did there. You're using the internet as a tool for growth. And so many people just aren't doing that here, at least. And by continuing the podcast and stuff like that, by continuing the engagement in Centennial Impact, in WIP, in all the production efforts in Dallas, by continuing to use the internet, like you said at the beginning of our conversation, that's how we can continue to grow and continue that engagement.
Yeah, like we can't all make every show, but we can support online.
Yep.
We can go all to the great shows, the dope shows. Hey, this one's been they've been talking about this for a month. I gotta go to this.
I mean, how many bands would have thought that, they could have survived through that first wave of COVID when like everything shut down? And like, if you would have told me, like, hey, would you ever pay just to watch a band perform their set live? I would have been like, no. But then, given the like nasty circumstances and what ended up happening, it's like, of course, like you're going to be able to make it when you've got fans like that actually want to go out and support. And then, yeah, you can just plug it into the internet. You're like, hey, we got a live show going, we got a live stream. And I'm going, damn, dude, I love this band. I want to support them. I can't see them live. There's not going to be a way for me to see them live. So am I going to pay to see the live stream? Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. With that said, we're gonna close out. I'm probably gonna play a little treat, some of our commercials that we made here at Centennial Impact Productions, so people know what's going on. I also have a company called Demand Tech Now, where I install home theater, smart home solutions. I'm in the Dallas area, so if you need to hit me up for my services, you can find me there. Please share this stream. When you share this stream, it only adds to the numbers of people who would want to see this live. I'm trying to start a conversation around the music scene. Some people may know people with land or houses that they'd want to use for live shows. Like, hey, play my wedding, play my birthday, play this. Okay, we'll do that. We'll throw you a show, and we'll rock the house. So,
And
contact us on our socials. You know where to find us, our ats and stuff. So, appreciate it. Do you have anything closing out?
I mean, Shirley Shredder's my Instagram. If you want to go check that out, I'm in 3 local bands in Dallas. Been working with Spencer to try and get us on roster for a lot of different festivals and stuff like that. But I play drums. If you ever need a drummer, hit me up on Instagram. And I'm also a web developer. So if you ever need any website work, you can also holler at me for that. But again, Spencer, it was a pleasure chatting with you, man. I really appreciate you having me, bro.
Hey, no problem. Just featured your page, so we plugged you in there. People know where to find you at. They could just find a little timestamp and find it.
Excellent. Thanks so much, guys. And thank you, Spencer. I look forward to the next one.
All right. I'm going to send us out now.
Cool. Cheers.
Peace.
This is Spencer. He's in a band, and his music videos aren't the best. But after working with us, he recorded his first live performance, went deep into the jungle for his first music video, starred in his first short film, and acted in his company's first commercial. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think we got it.
Centennial Impact, where the collision is planned.